How is everybody? I'm really doing well, and I know you are too. This is Just Angie, and my name is Angie Murenga. And today I have two guests, Chege and Sandra, although they're going to talk about themselves a bit. And today I think, when I called them, I wanted to talk about governance, fatherhood, church, culture, business, what they do. But we're going to talk about everything. But I know Chege's greatest passion is culture, so we're going to go there. Hi, Chege and Sandra.
Hey, Angie.
How are you doing?
Very good.
You look really good and very, I don't think I've ever seen you guys together like this. You're just this close. I'm like, Allah, you're just the most amazing couple ever. Wow.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. You know, I love the fact that we have so many people within the KBS PLS space, very diverse. By the way, which season did you guys do? I even forgotten. 16.
16. The one that changed everything.
How did it change everything? It changed everything how?
PLF, there is before season 16.
You guys. Then after season 16.
Yeah.
So after season 16, there was a shift.
There was just fire.
When I didn't notice this.
First of all, how many were we in that class?
But they were many.
You were like 43 and 45 or something. Some crazy number.
A number of people.
I'm actually known now that I'm used to the smaller numbers. You guys were too many. But that's good. I'm glad. Exalted, lifted, and rising.
Absolutely.
Wow. So where do we start even? Maybe we start with who is Chege, who is Sandra, who are we together?
So maybe Sandra?
Okay. Sandra Owiti Chege. I am a talent manager. And you know, in this space we keep talking about solution providers.
Yes.
And so I say I'm a solution provider in the area of youth. So whatever young people are struggling with, or whatever issues there are in the area of youth, I try and create solutions in that area. That's who Sandra is.
Excellent. Oh, and this is Chege.
And this is Chege.
I don't, son of God.
Oh, wow. Now look.
Son of God. With their own flavor.
Entrepreneur.
Bogwa. I didn't mention it. I call him, this is Bogwa.
So
like
just
55,000 businesses.
Hopefully I'm growing into it. Trying to figure out how to give back to society. How to be a solution provider. How to be a person of value. So father, husband, disciple of ministry.
I was so excited. Disciple of ministry.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But student. Just
student of life.
Student of life. At the end of the day, always learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you have one, I always call her, I'm now calling her Hera.
Yeah.
Because I used to call her baby Hera. I'm trying to, you know that baby name can stick.
It's true.
So Hera, how old is Hera?
It's true.
Hera is a year, 3 months now.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Growing. Yeah, growing very well. Yeah.
Okay.
Happy baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Aspire, Empire, Spotlight. Let's talk about all the things that you're doing right now.
Right, ladies first.
Actually, I was thinking you do Empire.
Okay, cool.
And then
so
Aspire would make sense.
Comes
Yeah.
and then now Spotlight is the things that you're doing under that. Okay.
All right. So Empire International. We started off printing T-shirts, business cards.
You see,
just like what do we need to sell? So interesting period. I think that was a very aimless time.
But good aimless, because can you still draw lessons from aimless times?
Not at the very beginning. I think that one, for us, we were driven by very different motivations. She was in a particular industry. She came on board. We included the industry in the business, which is team development and team building and experiential learning. But I had been doing a few things before, so we decided to create a vehicle together to see what we could do to enter the market. And it's been a journey, but essentially what it is now, and I think for me it's a lesson in evolution, that things change.
I was going to say things evolve.
Things evolve, and people evolve as well. And if you're not evolving, then there's a bit of a danger there. But it's evolved to a social impact company, and essentially what that means is that Empire is a social enterprise. And what we're trying to do is make money, but then also make a difference at the same time.
Wow.
So a couple of industries we're in currently, we're in two. There's consultancy, where we deal with, again, team development issues, getting people to a place where they're thinking purpose, they're thinking leadership, they're thinking even within the context of an organization, how do I become a person of value within myself, within my team, and for the larger organization. And then in the middle of that, how do we as an organization then give back to society? How are we impacting society? So that's one. The second one is youth development. The thing that you're calling Aspire, which Sandra runs. And with that, we're just trying to figure out how do we create the next Pastor Angie? How do we identify and help the next Pastor Angie grow and develop and not have too long of a time frame within which to do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So how are you doing that, Sandra?
Wow.
I love it, Kwanzaa.
Through various platforms. One of the things that I say all the time is the fact that I have been blessed with great networks. And so in many ways, like you say, in many ways I'm a conduit. So I know this number of people here, and I know these young people who need what these people have. And so I create platforms that can enable these people meet. All right. So Aspire, in its definition, is a talent management agency and a hub for youth development initiatives. And so we come up with different initiatives like Spotlight, which we're going to talk about. We have Spotlight, which is a program that just highlights different career options for young people. And what it is that we do is we get masters of the different industries to come and talk to these young people and tell them this is what it takes to be able to thrive in this industry, and also give their life stories. Because I mean, you can fight or battle with a lot of things. You can't battle with my experience. All right. So when I come and tell you this is what it is that I have gone through, one, I'm giving you an opportunity not to make the same mistakes that I have made, but also number two, I'm giving you insights on how to be better in this same industry. So that's what Spotlight is about. We just started. We started in July with photography. We cast a spotlight on photography. It was quite a success.
It was a very serious success. You were thinking there are 3 people who are coming to the event?
Me, I was fine with 50 people. In fact, 50, I was like...
You have my magic number. Even if I'm asked, when how do I come to the event? 50. If 50 come, I'm done.
I'm done. But I'm well. I'm okay. And then on the day to have 235 people, even the venue... Yes. The venue was telling us, now we can't let any more people in. We cannot handle this number. I was like, okay, that's fine. And it also proved that there is a need for young people to hear these stories of people who are walking in a little ahead in the steps that they are about to walk in.
So they highlight what the issues they would face, they highlight their successes, their failures, and they tell a story. And I think also another thing with young people, because I don't know how we got there, but we're not talking about culture, which I know you're very passionate about, is we have a culture of people who think everything is instant. So it's very important for them to hear the backstory and hear the journey, so that they know there's no microwave tactics here. You have to go through life, you have to go through the process, you have to go up and down. But like you said, they'll go through faster. Because many of the people, I'm sure, nobody was teaching them. They were finding out for themselves. But here you're giving them a chance to know what to do. And then I don't know why I just feel like in my spirit, before we talk about culture, the event is free, I guess. So you found sponsors. And also a big shout out to the Michael Joseph Center, because also the venue is free. So then they can come in, because you know sometimes people say the youth don't have, maybe they don't have the money to pay for it. So it was an event that they could come to. Did you have to register?
Yes. So with Spotlight, our intention is to keep it free. Because as you have said, we want as many young people to be impacted and to hear, and to be impacted. I love that word, to be impacted. But we ask them to register beforehand. Because again, with the various venues, whether it be Michael Joseph Center or whether it be Power 254, we need to know the numbers of people who are coming so we can plan accordingly. So people have to register beforehand, and all this information is in our communication and marketing material which we put out. And then coming to that, I must say we should invite Kanji as well because of culture. Remember the first time that together with because you know what I like for us, even when we have events, it has to be prepared. And then like the first event he told you, Pastor Angie, you will never do it. And I was like, hey Kanji, are you supposed to be encouraging me or discouraging me? He told me, Pastor Angie, it has never been done.
There is no such thing as a prepaid event.
Yes.
Kenyans don't prepare. You know, it's our culture.
Yes, it's our
they don't
culture.
prepare. You know,
In
there
fact,
is
it's
before.
Pastor Angie, please.
I'm at the
Tomorrow
door.
is the event.
I'm at the door.
That is exactly what they did to me.
I'm at the door.
I was like, I'm done with this book. So I said, no, we have to change the culture.
Yes.
Why is it that if you know you're coming for this event, you pay in advance and we know that you're coming. And then also we are able to prepare for you. What do you mean you just arrive at the door and then you come? So anyway, despite, and those are my friends now. Those are my friends, my people, my cheerleaders. He told me that story is a wrap and it can never work. Success to you. So I went to my God and I said, God, they're going to pay. We have to change culture. Yes. They're going to pay in advance and we're going to know who's coming and there's no last minute. But of course, in true Kenyan style, I think that was, we had partnered with your Leaders Fellowship and we brought in Cindy Trim. Oh my goodness. And then those days now, I remember when people like, remember we were in ministry with Kina, what was it called? Benja Luta. Benja told me to get a line for the business that is not my line. Had I listened?
No, never ever.
So all calls were 3 a.m. I'm like, this mother fired. They called me, they said, and then also, by God's grace, that event was full. So it was 300 people and there was a cutoff. I don't know if you understand. There's a cutoff. I cannot allow more than 300 people in this room. That is it. Oh my God. Let me tell you, and then I don't know what happened. I just had a moment. I then asked them, "Will give me the registration list? Who are the people who paid first?" Now the people who paid way in advance. I said, those people get a sitting plan. Let's get it together. They get preference where they're gonna sit. They're not going to fight for the Sufuria destination because they paid in advance. Some people just understand that culture, paid and were there. So I made sure that those guys had preferred seating. And they were doing well. But the drama, I could not believe the drama, the fighting. On top of all that, I said it's full. Guys still came to the door. Yani, I'm telling you, the
your
drama
phone is still buzzing.
Was excess. So even in terms of culture, why can't we just prepare or pre-register for events?
That's a difficult question. I think it's difficult for people to
Kenyans.
Kenyans. I think it's difficult for Kenyans, people in brackets,
Kenyans,
to operate outside of their own reality. So if for you, decide I'll pay for this event 2 days before, and then you find out, oh, tickets are over, so the second best thing for me to do is I'll buy at the door. That person's primary thinking point of reference is what works for me, and I think that drives a lot of action in the way we live in society. I mean, a guy will cut you off in traffic because it works for him.
Doesn't necessarily get him ahead.
The result is,
leave the
result, but the intention, you know. So the result
just wants to be ahead.
He just wants to be ahead, and it comes from not a bad place. I don't want to say it's a good place, but it's not a bad place.
It's a bad place.
Because
it's a bad place.
It's a bad place. But I want to get ahead.
It's a bad place.
Okay.
But it's rather selfish.
Yes.
So
and bullying.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know how we got there. It's just sometimes I even want to ask them. I need to type something in my card that I put aside. Some of the men, when you cut you off, I'm like, excuse me, you're supposed to be a gentleman. Hello. First of all, you're supposed to be gentle to me as a woman.
True.
What are you doing?
Okay.
That is the first
granted.
with which you can cut.
Okay.
There's nothing good about that. What's good about that?
It's true.
And also, are we here planting mangoes?
Yeah.
Why are you cutting me?
What am I doing
What
there?
am I doing? Selling
I apologize on behalf of everyone who has ever cut you off in traffic. I say sorry. But I think that's what drives that behavior.
And it's very selfish. And it also refuses planning. But
yeah, exactly. So it says that there's a system, but I'm so separate and so special that system does not apply to me. You can't run a society like that. Because at a bare minimum, it's overlapping in traffic. When you extrapolate that, you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, because it's gonna be a leader with a lot of influence or a lot of authority, and his or her decision making will have an impact on many lives and many people. So if 10 years ago he was overlapping, and now he's in a seat of authority, God knows
what he will do.
God knows
and even his thinking,
and even
how
his
he thinks,
way of thinking,
or she thinks,
or he or she thinks. You know, how do you think? And that's part of culture. So and just knowing that you don't live by yourself, how does what I'm doing affect my neighbor? which I think is we are truly, if we haven't lost it, we are on the way to losing it.
We have lost it, I think. Okay, on the way, because
Yeah.
there's no absolute, but you know that's where as a society we're where we are today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's all become about me.
Absolutely.
And how I can get ahead,
Yeah.
and I don't care about everybody
Yeah,
else. You know, it's like when people take money even from an organization, they steal.
Yeah.
They don't care. You know,
Yeah.
there are times even I'm watching news and I want to start crying. You see, like a hospital which they don't have drugs, and somebody took that money and is having a nice time and is on holiday and feeling nothing. Their children are going to school and somebody else needs drugs. I mean, I can imagine the other day. You know, sometimes God does things just to remind us. I had a homa. Let me tell you the suffering I had. You know, it's better when it's a woman. Once a man gets a homa, it's the end of world. Everybody has to come here, you know.
3 days is over.
It was so draining and so, and I felt so bad, and yet I had the drugs. So in such moments, I think of the people who don't have the drugs, who need the drugs, and you can go and on a jet ski holiday with your family, on the tombs that you stop. Let me tell you, people don't even understand justice.
It's true.
At some point, you may think you were doing God. Let me tell you, he's coming.
At some point,
he is going to land.
It's true.
He's going to land, him plus his brothers and his relatives,
It's true.
and we're going to deal with this situation because. But that's it. We don't have. We're very selfish. We've become to the place where life is just about me, nobody else. And so therefore I plan. You know, like for the events. Now they understand. Now they know. But still, even with the PLFers and the PLF culture, it's still last minute. But at least they know. Me, I've said, okay, this is the cut-off date. Nimekata. You're not going to come. If you haven't paid by this date, it's a wrap. And I'm going to deal with those who are there, and I don't care even if you have 50,000, I'm not going to do it. But it's been a culture, even within the KBS PLF ministry, that is like pulling teeth still. But it's a lot better, but it's like pulling teeth. And then I don't know, I just thought about this. A friend of mine who I used to work with at, Air Kenya, and I think her name is Fatma, but she's at Safari Link. So I'd be the people in December calling for a ticket to go to Coastal. And she would tell me...
And you're leaving on Saturday, it's Wednesday today.
And this is Fatma, Pastor Angie. Why is it, now she's asking me questions, that it is always the people like you who are calling me, not even into association, because she tells me some people who were going to Coastal in December, they paid last December.
In December.
So when they were exiting their holiday,
they paid
for
the next year
because they knew
they were going.
A year in advance. But the local Kenyans, she had included me in that story. Me and my culture changing ways. You're calling now, and you have to call. Hey, Fatima, Sasa, you hook me up, So even here, I even know the lingo. I even told her, stop stressing me. I don't know how to play. What's the problem? I know because I used to work there. Stop giving me stress. How about, I told her, I cannot be the only one calling. The other people calling, so just organize and
we move on.
She's like, we pay in advance. Pay a year in advance. And even if, and every year, even I tell myself, I'm going to save this year for my holiday. So every month I'm going to set money apart. And I don't.
Until September.
I don't. Even September is a wrap. I'm like, hey, we reached here. But you know, honestly, we need to get organized as a people. And I'm even talking to myself. You know, if you know you're going to be... I even was even shocked when I saw somebody had paid their, I think their DSTV subscription for a year. Almost because you just want to pay
and just
every month.
And feel like...
us, we just want to pay every month.
It's true, by the way.
DSTV could collapse. I don't know.
You don't, and then they go your 7 months.
And then I need back.
See that thinking? There's a problem.
And there's a counter change.
There is a
problem. So I was very shocked when I saw somebody write a check for a year. I was like, Allah, you paid for it. So you're going to pay it. So it's done. It's done.
Absolutely.
And you know, the thought of that, really, what has hit me is you really save on a lot. Because take, for example, paying for DSTV in advance. If I pay for it in January and it's, let's say, 5,000 bob, right? But during the year it increases. That increase doesn't affect me.
True.
Because me, I've locked mine at the 5,000 bob. Same with the airline, isn't it? Because if I pay the year before, the rates are a lot more affordable than they will be this year, isn't it?
Even hotel accommodation, it's the same thing.
But we know that, and I'm sure that people have traditions. Every year at this time, we even go here. They don't know the hotel, they know everything. But I'm telling you, booking, it's the possible last day when you can book.
Maybe we like excitement. Maybe you like the pressure of
the adrenaline and the drama and the calling in all the shots and all the favors and calling everyone.
I think so.
But anyway, we know people.
But connected to that is we know people. And I think part of what's happening with economies, and especially places that struggle with corruption, is it moves from production to connection.
Wow.
Right? And so you say, I've tendered for something, but I know the procurement person. So, one, I'm sure I'll be shortlisted. Number two, even this production that I'm doing might not be at the best level of excellence, because I know the guy, and we can talk. So, and that's the community by itself is not a bad thing, because it's where we come from. It's our context as Africans. But it's open to manipulation, where you say, how much can I get away with because I'm in the connected economy, right? And what that does is that it excludes a lot of people.
I was going to say it locks out a lot of people.
It locks out a world
who could
where
actually have done
absolutely
the
much
job
better,
and the work.
much better.
It locks them out.
The person who helps us with our daughter and the home, her child is sick, and because of this nurses' strike, she went to her local hospital, but the person she's dealing with is a doctor. So there is no underlying support structure, right? So there are no nurses. So essentially what that looks like is that there were no tests done on the child, on the boy. So the doctor looked at the boy and said, this looks like a case for antibiotics. Now, obviously, you can't take antibiotics if you don't have the issue that the antibiotics is supposed to be treating, because then you're building resistance in the body. But the doctor said, look, take antibiotics, looks like, not infection, looks like an allergy of some sort. And so here you go. But so the child took the antibiotics, but it wasn't going away. The issue wasn't going away. When we went for a second opinion, tests were actually done, And I think that's a good example of the knowledge, the community economy, the connected economy, where you know each other. But you can imagine how many people are being diagnosed with the wrong thing, and just the implications of that is very scary.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
imagine that she had another option, because some people don't have another option.
Yeah, exactly.
So that option, that's done, and there's
absolutely.
nothing we can do.
Yeah, and people, and this was supposed to end up being a full-blown condition. So if you don't catch it early, what are we struggling with in life because we weren't able to catch it early?
How does the economy work ideally? How do what steps can we take? Because sometimes, okay, I see the whole picture and it just looks scary, but then I'm a great believer in breaking up things into small pieces that we can tackle, and then maybe looking at what I can do or what you can do here in our small space that maybe then translates and begins to affect and impact the entire community.
Hey, do you have an insight? It's a big question. It's a big question.
Do I have any insight? What comes to my mind, because I deal a lot with young people, I think is the importance of sharing your life with a young person, so that they can see another way that things work. Okay. Let me tell you why I say this. In a positive way that things work. Let me tell you why I say this. There's a day I was reading some research, and part of the research said that I think 52% of the young people who underwent, the questioning process, 52% of those young people said they would deal in corruption as long as they don't get caught. As long as they don't get caught.
Because they have seen people not get caught.
Yeah, because people are not getting caught. And so for me, I'm like, if that is the blaring picture that young people are seeing, as we say in Empire, youth culture becomes national culture.
Yes.